Right, so hello, my name is Akira, and I do videos on YouTube. Today, I will be covering a man who has lost all hope. He has been stricken down by the community and has been taken away from his girlfriend. A man so depressed, the only thing he could look forward to was the in-game community of Classic WoW for comfort. And yet, they have burned him with their hurtful words. All of this and more, taking place on the Bloodsail Buccaneers realm. This is the story of Davecash.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The year is 2019. Classic WoW gets launched and everyone pours in at the exact same time. Servers are getting flooded and even simple things are next to impossible to do. What's worse? Amongst the chaos, there's a single man who has been heartbroken by his girlfriend Jessica. While you were busy killing 10 boars, training your professions, or just simply experiencing the hype of Classic WoW's release, this man was grieving. Every day he longed for his girlfriend of 3 years to come back. He's left with their daughter, who was born out of wedlock, and is pained by the responsibility of raising a daughter on his own. As a child who was raised by a single parent, I can tell you his actions are just. On top of that, nothing can damage a sweet young child's mental state worse than having to face the reality of the words, "Mama just isn't coming back, dear." And I can guarantee you that no father can shoulder those words to their daughter without feeling the burning sensation of guilt, shame, and sadness expressed to their young one. Even through this, Davecash pushes onwards. This father isn't a joke. He works day in and day out to support this lifestyle. And on his free time after being torn between his daughter, his work, his self-care, and what needs to be done within the daily grind, he takes time to play World of Warcraft to take the edge off. A small vice to be sure, but a respectable one. However, the moment this man logs on and tells people of his story, he gets nothing but backlash, hatred, and disappointed onlookers who just can't bear to hear such weary words. So what do? They resort to passive-aggressive comments, name-calling even, ignoring Davecash by all means necessary, and yet this pales in comparison to the greatest sin of them all. What's that, you may ask? Silencing. Davecash was mass-reported for abusive chat, and his progression in WoW was put on hold as he couldn't ask anyone, not even a whisper, for help. He was forced to segregate himself to dying over and over again against any and all foes, without the ability to simply ask someone for help. What else could he do? All of this over a man who poured his heart out to the citizens of Azeroth, and it just gets stomped on. I hope you're all happy now. You did a man in for 3 days just to get some small satisfaction of not seeing his name in general chat, of which could have been achieved if you just hit ignore. I, for one, was actually able to sit down with Davecash himself and get his insight into this matter. I had my interviewer Frederick Meyer have a talk with him in Westfall, where it all began.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Davecash.
No problem. Ever since I met you in Westfall, you've been a close friend.
I remember the first time you expressed your sorrows and anxiety over the general chat. You were met with unparalleled degrees of scrutiny and hostility. I did not see an ounce of empathy from the general public towards you. It is also very concerning that their reprehensible actions has led a grieving man to be silenced for voicing his anguish over a general medium of communication, Mr. Davecash.
They were hostile, and they mass-reported me. To some, this screams bullying. It tore me apart, that my only social outlet was taken from me, and right after my girlfriend of 3 years left.
You were in the process of recovering and seeking out support from what should be a generous and accepting community. Instead, you were met with backlash and ungrounded animosity for simply stating your feelings.
I had to spend hours staring at a wall, having conversations in my head, just so I could pass the time until my silence was lifted. This
In
account's
what world
like
do we
bad, both
allow-
bad for public health and
My apologies for interrupting you, Mr. Davecash. But I'm so outraged by the course of action this community has taken against you.
miscellaneous.